Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Stash Report from the Stash Project. Today is June 8th, 2020, and we have our announcements from Posse Gala for the month of August to go through, as well as a number of kit releases, several of them on the US side of things for a change. So let's just hop on into it, shall we? Now, Posse Gala's got several reissues. Actually, everything is a reissue here. Some of them are mildly tweaked. One is something that has been around for a very long time. And then you have just your straight reissue. So on the straight reissue side of things, they're going to be redoing another run of their Volkswagen Type 2 23 window microbus. Another run of the Lamborghini Miura P400 Superveloce. Now this, of course, would just be the regular kit without any resin girls or PE added to it. Reissue of their 1972 Monte Carlo Rally Nissan 240Z. Reissue of the Nissan Sunny GB122 Late Edition. That's the third of the kits as the gray truck on the box art from the 1980s. And then also their Monster Attack Team Mazda Cosmo. And that, of course, does come with a Resin Girl figure. So there is that. On the actual, new kits for August, you have a reissue of their BMW 2002 Tii. And this is going to have a resin chin spoiler added to it. We've seen Posse Gala do this a little bit in the last year and a half, where they've been adding a resin, mostly chin spoiler, to kits to give another release of something that is, a fairly new kit. They've done this with the Nissan Sunny. They're doing it now with the 2002. They also did it with the Mitsubishi Lancer, or not Lancer, but the Galant from the 1970s, where they did the one that had the resin chin spoiler, and the window slats in the back and things like that. So it's just another way for them to get a couple extra bucks out of the tooling. They're going to reissue their Volkswagen Type 2 panel van with a fire pattern decal scheme and a blonde resin girl. Yes, once again, resin girl. All the things. They're going to reissue their Mercedes C9 car, Sauber C9, as the 1987, let me make sure I get the pronunciation of this correct, the Norris Ring World Sports Car Prototype Series race. The car did not actually finish that event, but it did qualify third, so I guess. What's really kind of amusing about that is that for that particular race, the three cars, the top three cars, are all Porsche 962Cs. So if they wanted to do things from this event that had actually won the race, and I realize it's a licensing thing with the sponsorships and everything, but still, this is an odd choice compared to the fact that they make the car that they actually won the race. They're going to reissue their Lancia Super Delta rally car in the 1993 Rally Portugal toe tip livery. And that car finished third in that rally. And then the long ago, far away, I bought one, so you're welcome. Reissue is the 1991 Ivory Coast, or Cote d'Ivoire, Mitsubishi Galant VR4 Rally Kit. Now, why that kit is special, if you want to call it that, is the fact it has never been reissued. It was done once back in the mid-1990s in their first run of all the VR4 rally cars, but has never been reissued since. A lot of the other rally cars were reissued recently, 2000, early 2000s. Like, they've had a couple of releases, and then they're all redone here in the last 3 years. But that specific one has never been redone before, and looking at the one that I did buy, you guys, if you watch the other channel, I bought one of those because I figured it would never get reissued because it's been this long. Why would it start now? Uh, is a right-hand drive rally car. Now, that sounds like, well, didn't the Galant right-hand drive to begin with? Yes, it is, but for whatever reason, all of the rally cars are left-hand drive, which has always sort of frustrated me about the production car version of that kit, because it doesn't have, that only comes in left-hand, only comes JDM right-hand drive, but all the rally cars are left-hand drive, except that one. And the reason why that car is, its own sort of entity is because the tooling insert that is a left-hand drive is not just obviously a civilian dashboard, it's a rally dashboard, so it's a stripped out one, which is why you can't, I mean, you could clearly build the street car with the rally dash in and be like, oh yeah, I've got these parts and whatever, make a story about it, but it has a specific runner of parts on it, that has a left-hand drive dash, the left-hand drive windshield wipers, and all those sort of left-hand drive conversion pieces that are that are specific to that kit. They're not in any of the other ones, and so that is going to get a reissue. So again, I spent, I don't know, like $50 on the kit and a set of replacement decals because the kit decals are toast because they're from 1992. And yeah, much like that Trident sugarless gum 767B Group C car. Yep, you guys are welcome. I am pretty much now not buying any more Posse Gala out of production kits unless I know the tooling is destroyed, because clearly nothing is safe, as it were, from being reissued by Posse Gala at this point, which is cool because, I mean, again, that kit has not been seen in, what is that, 28 years? So for rally fans, and specifically for people who wanted to do some of the other Ivory Coast rally stuff, there are some other decals. Studio 27 does the I want to say it's 1990 Ivory Coast Rally decals as well. Now you actually have the correct kit to put them on. So going to the kit releases, we have some, like I said, some domestic stuff. So one kit out of Revell, one kit of round 2 so far for the month of June. From Revell, it is this, a reissue of what is probably one of the most popular kits they do, mainly because they keep running at such small run sizes that it immediately sells out, and that is the custom Cadillac Lowrider. So yes, this is that 1980s, 1990s Coupe de Ville that is sort of a weird amalgamation of being correct for neither. It's based off a die cast, so there's really probably not too much they can do with this without tooling up some new stuff for it. It comes pretty much exactly the way it came the last time it was reissued 4 years ago. Of course, that run was only like 1,000, 1,500, maybe 2,000 pieces, and it insta sold out because at that point the kit had been released in like 9 or 10 years. So this one has all of the same parts. The white walls are sort of photoshopped off of the box art for whatever reason, but the white walls are still, the white wall part inserts are still there for the tires. Otherwise, it's a straight reissue. It has the stock interior. I know some people want the custom interior put back in this, but I think that's only been in 1 or 2 of the very early releases of this kit, and ever since then it's sort of had a stock Cadillac interior. But for the people who were looking to get these again and did not want to pay the $80 plus they were selling for on eBay, that kit is back out there for you. And the other kit domestically is from round 2, and it is this, the AMT 1967 rather, Chevy Impala Sport Sedan. So this is the Supernatural car. This kit has quite a few new pieces to it. After I spent part of my morning at the Buckeye Scale Classic show wanting to just duct tape one of the vendors who was there, who kept saying, they're destroying the 67 Impala SS. You're never going to see that kid again. I guess he must have had like half a case of them he wanted to get rid of or something like that, because that's flagrantly not true. This kit has a new body, has new interior pieces, obviously mostly to convert the interior to a 4-door, along with a bench seat that's like out of a Caprice maybe. That's what the seat in the movie car is from a Caprice. And so it is a custom front bench. It is not just an Impala front bench. It does have column shifters, spotlights added, custom wheels. It has a new non-SS hood, a new non-SS grille and taillight panel, as well as new bumpers. So basically the whole front and rear chrome assemblies have been retooled to do a non-SS version of them. And then it's a non-SS hood, so it's just a flat hood. So if you wanted to hit, one of the things I've seen online is round 2 is going to get a lot of claims for busted hoods now. Please, guys, don't do that. Like, I understand that you don't want to buy a $30 model kit or a $27 model kit, or whatever this is going to wind up being at your local hobby shop, just for the hood to make a flat hood, or just take the non-SS parts out of this to like down trim your 2-door Impala. But don't parts claim for hoods, because that is what got Revell all janked up and made it so in order to make claims on some parts, you would have to send them the UPC from your kit, or you would have to send them the parts and they would send you the new ones back. That got to be a complete and total pain in the ass towards the end of the Hobbico run, where I have bought, I have 2 Audi R8 Spiders. One I bought frontline at the hobby shop when it came out. One that I picked up at Ollie's when they were blowing those things out for $8. Both of them had warped bodies, and the reason why I never managed to get a new body for either one of them, although I managed to twist the one from Ollie straight, and so I'm going to build that one. The reason why I have never gotten a R8 Spider body replaced is because when I contacted Revell for it, they were like, well, okay, send us the body. I was like, can I just send you some pictures of the body? I'll put my phone behind it, to show you that's current date. No, you have to send us the body at your cost, and then we'll send you a body back for free. Well, it's like, it's not for free if I have to ship you something at my cost. And the reason why that had to be done was because the lesser among us who like to try to cheat the system had made claims on bodies at Revell because, hey, Rust-Oleum all the things with their paint jobs, screwing shit up with Krylon. And, yeah, you guys ruined it for everybody at that point. So can you please calm yourself down? If you want to kit bash kits, buy them both. It's okay. Buy this kit for its hood, and then you can make, I don't know, a mythical Impala SS sports sedan. It's just, please don't screw up the parts replacement system. That does way more harm than good. I realize nobody thinks about it. It's just a hood. Round two says megalithic billion-dollar company when they're like 6 guys in Indiana, making ends meet. Don't do that. Anyway, that gets back out. I know a lot of people were waiting on it because it's a 4-door. It's a new tool, normally 4-door. The guts of it, the engine, running gear, all that stuff is the old. It's a 90s tool, 67 Impala 2-door. But I've seen a lot of people go, I'm gonna make a fire chief car out of it. I'm gonna make a police car out of it. Okay, I understand that this is an Impala sport roof, so it's a pillarless hardtop. Yeah, police cars, fire chiefs vehicles, things like that were Biscaynes, if that, trim level wise. So you'd have to put a pillar into the hardtop. You'd have to do a lot of trim replacement and stuff like that. It's not. I mean, you do whatever you want to with your model. I don't care, but from a accuracy standpoint, you can't just slap a light bar and police decals on this and go, yes. I mean, you can, but all of us are going to look at you like, yeah. But then again, some people don't care about accuracy, so whatever. All right, so over to Japan, we have some releases out of Posse Gala and a few bits and pieces really issued from Aoshima. Aoshima's one kit this week is the reissue of the Venerable, although I can't recommend it to anybody because it's not really 1/24 scale. I'm a London Black Cab, the Austin FX4, so this gets another run out there. You know, within its own confines, considering how old the kit is and things like that, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just not in scale. I know several people who bought these specifically to display with that giant London double-decker bus that Revell of Germany made. And then they were like, this isn't 1/24 scale. This isn't anything resembling. It's way bigger. Yeah, it's not quite 1/20th scale, so then again, it doesn't fit with any of that stuff either. It's kind of like 1/21 and a half or somewhere in there. It's like, yeah, But it's an old tool from the 1970s, early 1980s, and what are they going to do? Make a new one? I mean, Fender. Thinking about how many times they reissued this kit, maybe making a new one in 1/24 scale that was like full detail would be something for like a Revell of Germany to consider, or a Heller or someone over there. But yeah, I can't, in good faith, without the foreknowledge of what you're buying, recommend buying that. So there's that, and then there are several parts packs this week. First up, we have the Wing custom parts set, which comes with like a Recaro style seat, a tachometer with a shift light, and these 2 wings that you see on the box art. There's a sheet of carbon fiber in there, so I guess you can carbon fiber the wings or the back of the seat. And then we have the 3 sets of police car parts that were released this week, and they are basically generationally well, packaged together. You have police patrol car parts A, which has the newer style rotator V-bar that's from like the 90s, early 2000s. It also comes with a little Amori Sun badge that goes on the front of the police cars. The grill lights, extra mirrors. There's a cone in here, a couple other police parts. Patrol car parts B, which has a 1990s, early 90s style rotator bar, which again has the mirror and the bug guard and the medallion and the grill lights. This is designed to go on it's actually designed to go on Aoshima's 4-door R33 GTS M, so they know what the basis of that is. And then you have Patrol Car Part C, which is a 1970 style rotator light bar. It also has a single rotator beacon, a roof siren, one of those Kojak style roof lights, a couple of antennas, again the medallion, and this is from their like C210 Skyline. The single rotator was put into their Corolla, and so you know the era of what that goes with. And I think both those also come with the same runner that includes the traffic cone and a couple other police parts like a flashlight and a clipboard and stuff like that. So um, not a lot of use for those here in the United States, obviously, but if you have a Skyline laying around and you wanted to make it into a police car, now you have that option. Hasegawa, straight reissue of this, which is the Lamborghini Miura 400 Superveloce with Italian girl figure. Yes, resin girl, all the things. She is, again, as we talked about when this kit was originally done, permanently looking over her shoulder, wondering why it is that you're taking so long to get ready. She's ready. Her skirt is arguably entirely too short for her to sit down anywhere ever again. But this kit, again, straight P400 with the resin girl. This does not come with the PE that was reissued here not too terribly long ago. And then the other kit that came out this week from Hasegawa is this, which is their Porsche 944 Turbo Racing Kit for the single make Turbo Cup series. This car is supposedly from the 1986 Nürburgring race, except I've gone into the race car database trying to figure out where this car finished so I can discuss it with you, and I can't. I can't. There's a couple of A. Schwartzes that are in the race car database. None of them seem to have raced in Turbo Cup, and looking at pictures and things like that from that race, I can't find this car. So it may very well have been there. It may very well have been entered. It may very well have raced. But being that sort of way low budget single make racing series, there's no like real big solid coverage of anything that was done there. Like records don't really exist of this stuff, being that it's 23 years, 33 years old at this point. But yeah, I mean, having this shell livery that's very much a throwback to the 962 shell um, livery that ran at Le Mans. Somebody had a little bit of a budget and some forethought, but yeah, again, I can't find any proof that this car exists in real life, other than the fact that I don't think they would make up a livery that they're going to claim existed in a race that didn't race in. So it probably ran one time at that race, didn't finish, didn't start, whatever the case may be. But yeah, it's a cool livery. They give you pretty much, just the striping and you paint the two-tone, but it is what it is. Didn't reissue that kit. So anyway, guys, that one is the last we have to discuss for this week. Yeah, hope everybody had a good weekend. We just went to Green here on Friday, so everything is back open, although it's limited seating and limited, limited accommodations and things like that. I think the cap right now is 250 on group gatherings. So I still don't think. Well, I'm trying to think of how many people we really have in our building at any one given time at our model show in March, and I don't think it's 250. So it's possible that if you're not running, an NNL East sized event, we probably get away with a model show right now. Of course, then a lot of that would also involve the venue that you're renting and what their insurance underwriters are willing to deal with in terms of holding group events. So, I live 3 hours away from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, which of course has that major little. It's not really a convention center. It's all outdoors. It's not really a fairgrounds either. It's just a great big outdoor venue. There's like a concert venue there, and that of course is where like Fords of Carlisle, Corvettes of Carlisle, GM of Carlisle, and all those events are held every summer. And I believe it's the end of the month is supposed to be GMs at Carlisle, which should be very interesting in terms of what is allowed, because technically it's outdoor. So technically 250 people are never going to be inside of one place at one time. Technically masks aren't mandatory when you're outside in the state of Pennsylvania. They are if you're inside, like shopping or at the mall or whatever. So it's that some obviously the insurance carriers decided to underwrite that event, and I believe Fords of Carlisle comes out in the second week of July. So events like that are taking place. So maybe we will get some model shows here in the States in the fall. It all depends on second waves and all sorts of ominous talk like that. So we'll see what happens. Well, I clearly can't predict the future at this point. There was something else there that I can't remember what it was. Oh, it's the I know the IPMS Nats, the Nationals are supposed to still go on in about 4 weeks in San Marcos, Texas, which is sort of between San Antonio and Austin. Texas has sort of been a little more laissez-faire about all of this, even with as populated as a certain amount of that state is between the on the I-35 corridor, basically. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're still holding it. If you read the IPMS website right now, it's like, yeah, we're gonna I guess we're gonna do this, which is great when you consider that most people going to the Nats are flying in from other places in the country. So first of all, you got to deal with an airplane ride. Are you really getting on an airplane right now? And then of course the other one is getting down there and finding out they canceled the event, like 2 days beforehand. So I'm not sure I would necessarily hop on that unless you live somewhere nearby Texas and you just have to drive there. And if they decide not to have the show, it would be like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not going out there this weekend, because they have canceled all of the associated tours that were supposed to go on. Usually the IPMS Nats have tours of a military museum or maybe a military base or various things like that, and those are all canceled because those venues weren't willing to have a whole bunch of lonely white dudes come in. So we'll see. I guess we'll see with all that stuff. Anyway, I'm rambling on here for no real appropriate reason, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the other side.